Today I'm gonna be showing you how to repair a seatbelt, driver's side seatbelt for a 2013 Acura MDX. I already went ahead and did a few things before I started the video. You will see this screw right here. The purpose of this screw is so the coil that is inside, as soon as I remove this cap right here, it's not gonna come loose, because if it does, then it's a little bit tedious to get it back in place. And the purpose of that coil is to actually retract the seatbelt itself. I already went ahead and removed the 3 bolts that goes right here. The bolts are these little bolts right here. And I also put a zip tie right here. The purpose of the zip tie right here is so whenever we lose this and fix the seatbelt, the pressure of the coil is not gonna subtract the entire belt. And then we have to adjust and find out how tight it has to be and all this stuff. So these help us a lot of work after we're done. Also, a couple of signs that you can see that this seatbelt is broken is because it's locked. You can see that it's tight. And another reason how you know that it's damaged is because you can hear. Those are the little balls that are inside this pipe right here, and they are deployed as soon as a vehicle is involved into an accident or something like that. And also, if we take a closer look right here, you will be able to see the actual balls right there. So now that we remove those bolts, that we put the screw right here, now we're gonna remove this cap really carefully. Just come through the side right here and go in, all the way in, because you don't want that coil to become loose, and start pushing that out on different angles, different sides, completely out. Just put it on the side carefully. Like I said, you don't want that coil to become loose. Now you're gonna need a special tool for this. You can find those tools in Amazon or pretty much any hardware store. After you find the right tool, just get a drill and just remove those bolts. I always put this to the right side just because it's a little bit different than the other two. Just it's easier for me to remember which one goes. After you remove those 3 bolts, the same process goes. Just come right here and slowly just remove that cap. You will see all the bolts here. So the bolts, like I said, they're inside this little pipe right here. And the purpose of the bolts are to deploy and get here, so it will lock the seatbelt, and then it will securely lock the seatbelt so the seatbelt doesn't go anywhere. So for now, we're gonna put this to the side. We don't need this at the moment, and we're gonna work in here. We're gonna keep these little bolts right here because we may reuse them again, but for now, we're gonna work on this part right here. For some reason, this seatbelt do not came with a little plastic right here. Usually they do. Kind of like, I mean, there's no way that there's not a big enough space for the little bolts to come off, but usually it comes with a little rubber right here that just securely the area a little bit better. For some reason this one didn't have it, but we're gonna move forward in removing this little plate right here. You can go ahead and remove this little sticker. We don't need it, but we need to get rid of it so we can access this screw right here. So after you remove those 2, this can come off. Put this little plate to the side, and then the part that we're gonna replace is this one right here. This is the one that actually deploys whenever you are involved in an accident. This is the new one. This is the one that we're gonna put on. There's something extremely important whenever you are doing this type of repairs. You have to look at the plug itself. So you can see in this particular case, we have a different color, but the shape of it is exactly the same. So this will work, but in some cases, you may have the same part, but with different color or different shape. If you run into that situation, all you have to do is just remove this one and just put it in here. So now we're gonna install the new safety mechanism. The reason why I put tape in here is so the little bolts doesn't come off, but of course, we can reinstall it with this because we do want the little bolts to come out if for some reason this vehicle is involved again in an accident. So let's pay attention to this little thing right here. These two little things are extremely important. They go right here. They attach this part in place. And as soon as the vehicle is involved in an accident, it will break. This will come loose. All the little balls will come in here and it will lock this mechanism so the seatbelt can't move. So what we have to do before anything is secure this in place. You can weld this into place. I don't like to weld them because that could be too solid. In case of an accident, this may not break, and it is extremely important that this part breaks if the vehicle is involved in an accident, because if it doesn't break, then the balls are not gonna do its job and aren't gonna lock the seatbelt. So instead of welding it, I like to use just a little bit of glue, so it's just secured the part in place. And this is how it should look like. So whenever you have it secured, you can see it's right here touching the edges, but it's not above it, and it's right there inside the cylinder, right on the edge, and that curve right there is matching the right shape of it. So now that you have it right there, like I said, you can weld it, put a little bit of, a couple of welding points around it. I don't like to do that. I think it will be too strong. So I like to use a little bit of super glue on it, and I think it will work a little bit better. So let me glue this up and then we move forward. This is the super glue that I use. I mean, to me, it works really well and it's super cheap, but you can use whatever super glue you like. And I forgot to mention, before you glue that wheel there, you have to put this part back on. If not, you won't have any room to put it on. And that's it. After you put glue on it, you can see the glue around it. Maybe give it 3, 4, 5 minutes. It dries really fast, really quick. And then after you finish that, just start putting everything back together the way it was. You have to be very careful whenever you put in this back, not to tie this too much, because that can damage also the seatbelt. So on this part, whenever you feel like this part is secure, is in place, then you remove this screw slowly, and you have to hold this really tight because this has a lot of pressure on it. And then you have to take it to its place, and you have to secure it. And after all that, then we're gonna cut this seat tight and see if we actually fix the seatbelt. There you go. And now the seatbelt is completely fixed. You can see it's working fine. It has the pressure that it needs to. And then if you put it sideways, it's locked. This is a good way to find out is if a seatbelt is properly fixed. Just put it like this sideways, and then it will lock by itself. If you put it vertically, then it will work. And if you try to do it really hard, it will lock. So now the seatbelt has been fixed properly. The cylinder is good, every mechanism is good, and it's working like it should be, like the OEM. I hope that you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know on the comments, and I will do my best trying to answer those questions for you.